What is identity theft and how to prevent it? We use our data countless times in our daily routine, whether it's our bank account or credit card, social media, email, birth date, or any other account that is password protected. Even though this data is encrypted, it is considered pretty much secure. But here's the catch. While being encrypted, it does not mean that your data is completely secure. And, as a matter of fact, your data is at stake, and so is your identity, which can be stolen by hackers or criminals. After that, they can use your name and identity to get financial gain, or they can also sell it on the dark web. In just 2021, there were 1.4 million reports of identity theft that were received by the Federal Trade Commission Consumer Sentinel network, which tracks the complaints related to identity theft and other fraud complaints. But the good news is this identity theft can be avoided if you follow some basic steps and do some diligence by following good practices related to cybersecurity to thwart hackers. Well, this video is going to be a quick guide about identity theft, as we will understand what identity theft is in detail and see how you can prevent it. Continue watching until the end so you don't miss out on any insights from the video. So, without further ado, let's get started. But before you learn about what is identity theft and how to prevent it, pay attention to the big red subscription button. As soon as you click it, you will be taken to the wealthy side, the life you deserve, where you'll find hundreds of videos. These videos contain the answers to almost any question you may have. There are also daily updates, so if you want to stay tuned, remember to turn on notifications. First, let's understand what exactly identity theft is. Well, in simple words, identity theft is when someone tries to impersonate you by using your information. But the U.S. Department of Justice describes it as if a criminal uses your personal information, or the PII, which is personally identifiable information, to commit any false activity or fraud. Generally, these identity thefts happen to get financial gains. There are a lot of ways in which identity theft can be done, which include the most common credit card fraud, hacking, phishing, takeovers of social media accounts, medical ID stealing, ransomware attacks, and tech support frauds, just to name a few. Moreover, personally identifiable information is typically the information that is used for your identification. Like, it includes your birth date, passport number, important passwords, medical ID number, credit and bank account numbers, and even your biometric data, including fingerprints and scans. So, when identity thieves steal your PII, then they will be able to use it for opening new bank accounts with your name, do payments with credit cards, withdraw cash from your bank, and can get medical care from your health insurance. That's why the Federal Trade Commission suggests people stay alert about any unexplained withdrawal from their bank account. Also, if you see that your account information gets compromised due to a data breach, or you get calls from collection agencies for debts that are not yours, you should have to be aware of every potential scam or irregular activity that you haven't seen before. Even a thief will be able to file a tax return in your name and can get a refund. And you can receive a notice from your respective health insurance provider that they received a claim for treatment that you didn't even know about. So, to cut the story short, when you notice some frequent or irregular data breaches, it means your information is leaked. However, with this harsh reality, it is smart to take some measures in advance to prevent these malicious actors from taking advantage of your personal information and compromising your financial life. And you can minimize this disaster of identity theft that depends on your vigilance in guarding your information. So, here are some important ways that help you prevent identity theft and safeguard your personal information. Number 6. Secure your devices with antivirus software and unique passwords. Electronic devices, like mobiles or laptops, can be at a major risk. You must pay close attention to them as well, and install antivirus software on your devices, as they can help you in securing your information and prevent hackers from accessing or stealing your data. According to the FTC, you are at high risk of being affected by malware that contains spyware, viruses, and other harmful software if your devices slow down, show error messages, or crash. Also, you can face some unwanted ads and problems that fail to shut down or restart, or battery issues. That's because hackers can easily invade old or outdated software. So, it is important that you install up-to-date antivirus software and set them to automatic updates. This can save your data from being stolen, and you can be aware of any problem with your devices. In addition to this, you can secure your information more by setting a secure password. Well, a secure password is typically considered which is complex, long, and unique. Also, make sure to set different passwords for different accounts, as it can save your data if one of your accounts gets hacked. You can also use a password manager for this purpose. According to the FBI, the National Institute of Standards and Technology suggests creating a password that is at least 15 characters long, because long passwords are very much more difficult to crack by a computer program or a hacker. Furthermore, you can enable two-factor authentication on your accounts because it adds an extra layer of security that can be beneficial to prevent identity theft. Number 5. Review credit reports from time to time. All three big credit bureaus allow consumers to request credit reports. So, you can get access to your credit reports from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, and it will also not affect your credit score. You can simply request them online, as these bureaus offer tools to assist you in monitoring your credit, like they will inform you about the key changes. Well, it's a smart approach to pull your report from the bureaus at random times over the year so that you can be aware of the activity and monitor your account. In addition, you can request free annual credit reports by using annualcreditreport.com. Make sure to check that everything is going well and find out any irregularities or signs of fraud, such as wrong transactions or accounts that you don't recognize. Number 4. Make sure to shred important documents before disposing of them. It may seem weird, but any credit card, investment, or bank statements that someone can access or fish out from your garbage should be disposed of properly. Also, make sure to shred junk mail, specifically pre-approved offers of credit. However, diving may seem like an old-school thing of stealing someone's information. Even with the influx of phishing scams and data breaches online, criminals still do dumpster diving to steal your personal information. So, it is important to remember that there will be some people who will look at old furniture or other valuables, and some people will be looking to steal your data. You can keep some recent bank statements, bills, IRS correspondence, and other documents that contain personal information in a secure place. And make sure to shred the rest of the documents. Or, you can follow the approach of Bagdasarian, who keeps his last 3 bank statements and replaces them with new statements every month. Enjoying till now? Please hit the subscribe button now, like, share, and comment. And yes, keep watching. Number 3. Check your bank and credit card statements at regular intervals. Well, it is essential to check your bank and credit card statements regularly, because the scammers who know your bank account information and credit card number will likely do small transactions to check whether they can get away with it or not. As these transactions will simply slip through the cracks, and even you and your bank will notice them. So, if you want to avoid these identity thefts, you must know what is happening with your finances. You should be aware of the statement cycles and follow up with your credit card provider and bank if you do not get the statements on time. As we already mentioned, the most common identity theft is with credit cards, which are based on the FTC Consumer Sentinel network stats. Number 2. Check your mailbox daily. There are some ways that thieves can steal your identity with low-tech methods. For instance, they can simply steal important mail that can contain your utility bill, bank or credit card statements, and other important mail from your mailbox. They can also use another method to get your mail by changing your address by submitting a request in your name. So, you must pay attention to all the mail and the expected mail that you didn't receive. Also, it is important to put your mail on hold when you're out of town, because this can be one of the easiest ways to steal your personal information. Besides putting your mail on hold, it is also important to consider the lockable mailbox, which is approved by the U.S. Postal Service. Number 1. Freeze your credit. This is one of the most effective preventative measures which you can take to prevent identity theft. If you want to freeze your credit, you have to consult with all 3 big credit bureaus like Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Primarily, it restricts access to your records, and this stops the creation of new credit files. Well, the process of freezing your credit is free, and you can unfreeze it when you want to open a new account, as it offers the best protection against data breaches by thieves, so they will not be able to open a new account. and the credit bureaus offer online, mail-in, and telephone options to freeze your account. When you freeze your credit file, you will be provided with a passcode or a PIN that you can utilize later if you stop or temporarily lift the credit freeze. With being free, the credit freezes also do not affect your credit score. This is important for parents, as thieves can steal their children's identities and can apply for credit, and it is usually not discovered until the child applies for college loans or credit. A study conducted in 2021 by Javelin Strategy and Research reported that child identity theft costs around $1 billion annually to families in the U.S., and around 1 out of 50 U.S. children were victims of these frauds, which cost an average family over $1,000. The experts also recommend that it is a good idea to put a freeze on the child's credit files to keep track of the files until they reach their teen years. Moreover, there are some warning signs in case your child starts receiving offers for credit cards or calls for late payments or debt collections. So, it becomes essential to freeze their credit to prevent any identity fraud in advance. Did you enjoy the video? Please hit the subscribe button, like, share, and comment.